All right, welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a really big idea for any business that's serious about the future: dashboards. But let's be honest, we're moving past the typical dashboard that just gives you a rear-view mirror look at what already happened. We're talking about building tools that help you actively plan and shape what's coming next.
Okay, let's kick things off with a basic truth, right? Every single business, I don't care if you're a startup or a global giant, you need a plan. It's the roadmap that guides every single decision you make.
So, that brings up a huge question. Most dashboards, they're fantastic at telling you what happened last quarter. But are they actually built to help you figure out what to do next quarter? Or have they kind of become these beautiful, interactive history books?
And really, it all comes down to a totally different philosophy. You see, analytical dashboards usually follow a data-first approach. You dump in a ton of data and start exploring, kind of hunting for insights. But planning dashboards, they demand a structure-first approach. The deep thinking happens way before you even dream of making a chart. The data model itself has to be carefully, meticulously designed to support the entire planning process.
So let's really dig into this whole structure-first idea, because it's a total mindset shift. For planning, you can't just throw data at a wall and see what sticks. You have to build the wall first, brick by careful brick.
So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means the data structure is king. A really solid planning model has to serve a lot of different people. I mean, think about it. The CEO needs a single-page summary, a country manager needs a regional breakdown by product, and a production manager needs a super granular forecast. A well-designed data model has to support all of those views and do it seamlessly.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds complicated. So how do we actually build this kind of robust structure? Well, the good news is we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a proven solution to tame all this complexity, a set of design rules that basically create a universal language for data.
And that solution is the International Business Communication Standards, or IBCS. Probably the best way to think about it is with an analogy. IBCS is to data what musical notation is to music, or what traffic signs are for driving. It's a simple set of rules that, when you follow them, make sure that anyone can understand the information instantly and accurately. Doesn't matter who built the report. Let me show you a simple, but honestly incredibly powerful IBCS rule. Alignment. Text goes on the left, numbers go on the right. Now why? It's not just about looking pretty. When you right-align numbers, all the decimal points line up perfectly. This lets your eyes instantly scan down a column and compare how big the numbers are, without any extra mental gymnastics. It's all about reducing cognitive load.
And boom, here's what that looks like in action. This isn't just about tidiness. In a high-pressure planning meeting, this level of clarity means people get it faster and they make fewer mistakes. You're not wasting brainpower just trying to read the table. You're focused on what the numbers mean. This is clarity in action.
You know, the source material we're looking at has what it calls a golden rule, and it's so important. A planning table without a clear structure is just a jumble of numbers. It's useless. But by following these standards, you're giving the user a map, helping them find the real story hidden inside the data.
Okay, so we've got these beautifully structured tables, and they give us a crystal clear view of our data. But what if we could make them come alive? What if we could actually use that structure to test our ideas? This is where we jump from static reports into the world of dynamic simulations.
To do that, to simulate our business, we need a special kind of map. It's called a value driver tree, and this quote just nails its power. It's not just a chart, it's a network that visualizes the entire chain of consequences, showing how one little change can ripple through the whole organization. Probably the best way to think about a value driver tree is like a financial flight simulator for your business. It lets you ask those crucial what-if questions. You know, what if we bump up marketing spend by 10%? What happens to our customer acquisition cost? And how does that hit the bottom line? You can test all these scenarios and see the impact, all without any real-world risk. It's an absolutely incredible tool for getting everyone on the same page and making smarter decisions.
Okay, enough theory. Let's see how all of this comes together in a concrete, real-world example, building an automated liquidity forecast.
So this table right here, it lays out the whole game plan. We're moving beyond just looking at our own internal numbers. We're combining our historical cash flow data, the stuff from our core systems, with external data. In this case, it's energy prices from a data marketplace. And the whole goal is to merge them to create something totally new, a smarter, automated forecast. And here's the why behind all this, the business problem that makes this so critical. We all know energy prices can go wild.
A company has to understand how those external market forces are gonna hit their internal cash flow. So the goal is to build a forecast that's smart enough to automatically factor in that crucial piece of outside information.
All right, let's get to the good part, the payoff. What happens when you combine this smart, structured design with a truly integrated data strategy? Well, you get something that is predictive, not just reactive.
So here's how that whole flow works, from start to finish. First, you combine the internal and external data in a central data hub. Then, you import that unified data into a planning and analytics tool. The real magic happens in step 3, where predictive algorithms use those energy prices to generate a way smarter forecast. And this is critical. In step 4, that new forecast gets written back to the data hub. It's a closed-loop system, creating a single source of truth for everyone.
And just so you know, we're not talking about a tiny little sample here. In the real-world demo of this exact use case, over 4,700 records were imported just to train the predictive model. This is a robust process, working with a serious amount of data to get its insights.
So what's the bottom line? The result is a forecast that's just smarter. It's no longer just guessing based on your own company's history. It is actively learning from and reacting to the external market, which makes it more accurate, more relevant, and best of all, fully automated.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? The potential to see and shape your future is already sitting there in your data, both inside and outside your company. So the question is, are you building the tools with the right structure, the right design, and the right data to truly see it? Because when you build with that kind of foresight, you can unlock that predictive power and start planning for the future you actually want to create.